Hello, my name is Amaka Moore, a student at Ivy Tech Community College, Indianapolis, Indiana, Lawrence campus. I am here to present a set of safety rules for railroad mode of transportation by Federal Railroad Administration, FRA. This presentation is made on 2nd day of December 2022 in partial fulfillment of the course Transportation Operation LOGM 229 in the program of Supply Chain Management and Logistics. Having studied and learned about different transportation modes like by road, air, pipeline, ocean, railroad, I am using railroad mode of transportation as my case study. Railroad is transportation system laid with metal rails that is designed to allow trains to maneuver on the tracks for the transportation of passengers and freight from one location to another. Railroad transport is one of the oldest modes of transportation that is suitable for conveying bulk goods over long distances. Now back to the rules. These safety rules made by the FRA are policy made available for safety operation of the railroad to enable safe, reliable, and efficient movement of people and goods. FRA was created by Department of Transportation Act of 1966. This exercise is responsible for regulating the safety of the nation's railroad system and development of intercity passenger rail through several means, including legislative rules, non-legislative rules, management, and procedural rules. They focus on compliance and enforcement in hazardous materials, operating practices, track and signal and control, etc. The Federal Railroad Administration creates and enforces rail safety regulations, administers rail funding, and researches rail improvement strategies and technologies. Some of the FRA rules include how to cross tracks only at the designated or pedestrian roadway crossing. It states that individuals should walk, run, cycle, or operate all-terrain vehicles on railroad tracks, rights of way, or through tunnel. The only safety place to cross railroad track is at a designated public crossing. Do not cross the tracks immediately after a train pass. FRA's National and Environmental Policy Act (NEPA) assists federal agencies to effectively implement environmental policy towards making an efficient environmental project decision. And Council of Environmental Quality (CEO) issued regulations for implementing the procedural provisions of NEPA and was amended last in December 21st, 2022. Another safety rule by FRA, known as the Fixing American Surface Transportation Act (FAST), was signed into law on December 4, 2015, was the first federal aid law to provide long-term funding certainty for surface transportation infrastructure planning and investment. This helps in authorizing intercity passenger and freight rail grants. Again, on July 6, 2012, FRA signed Moving Ahead for Progress in 21st Century Map into law to promote accelerating project delivery and encourages innovation through the increased use of categorical exclusion and programmatic approaches. In 2008, FRA signed into law Rail Safety Improvement Act due to several incidents of fatal accidents between 2002 and 2008 to govern different areas related to railroad safety, such as hours of service, requirement for railroad workers, positive train control, implementation standards for track inspection, certification of locomotive conductors, and safety at highway rail grade crossing. FRA also proposed rail transportation project, which is subjected to executive orders, laws, and regulation, which was aimed at making sure that desires of communities and the impact of rail transportation on both human and natural environments are monitored. On the human environmental aspect of FRA's regulation, Americans with Disability Act (ADA) was signed into law to protect individuals with disability from being discriminated upon in all public life, including boarding trains, schools, jobs, etc. The purpose of the law is to ensure people with disability have the same rights and opportunities as everyone else. Hazardous materials (hazmat) innovation is fostered by FRA throughout the industry, helping development of new hazardous materials regulations and design standards to improve the safety and integrity of tankers and other packages carrying hazardous materials. Railroad noise emission compliance regulation is enforced by FRA's Office of Safety and sets maximum sound level for railroad equipment and for regulating locomotive horns. FRA published the train horn rule, providing the community an opportunity to create a quiet zone. Localities desiring to establish a quiet zone are first required to mitigate the increased risk caused by the absence of a horn. On natural environment, FRA signs into law Clean Air Act to regulate stationary and mobile source of air pollution to protect human health. The Coastal Zone Management Act manages the nation's coastal resources, balancing land and water issues. The Marine Mammal Protection Act prohibits harassing, feeding, hunting, capturing, collecting or killing any marine mammal or part of a marine mammal. FRA conducts compliance reviews and assessment to determine if the recipient's required efforts under Title VI, including aspects of environmental justice, unlimited English proficiency (LEP) and DBE, and other requirements are compliant as represented to the FRA. I would say that what I learned are that FRA performs the following functions: maintains the National Railroad Accident or Incident Reporting System that contains information reported by the railroad on all crossing collisions. FRA also serves as custodian of the National Highway Rail Crossing Inventory that contains the physical and operating characteristics of each crossing. The information is submitted and updated voluntarily by the railroads and the states. FRA works with other agencies and organizations in overseeing the submission of the inventory data to assure accurate and timely information. FRA also prepares, publishes, and distributes reports summarizing collision and inventory data and makes the data available on the internet. FRA conducts field investigations of selected railroad collisions, including crossing collisions. FRA investigates complaints by the public pertaining to crossing and makes recommendations to the industry as appropriate. FRA conducts research to identify solutions to crossing problems, primarily from a railroad perspective. Typical research involves program management tools, train bone, warning devices, car and locomotive reflectorizing, and track circuitry improvements. FRA also sponsors a considerable amount of research into railroad and crossing safety issues. A significant portion of this research is carried out by the John A. Volpe National Transportation System Carrier and Center in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Other research is performed through the National Cooperative Highway Research Program, administered by the Transportation Research Board. My viewers, having presented my information on Federal Railroad crossing, you can agree with me that most of these rules are very important. They are very good for us to protect us from accidents, to make sure that we are okay. And without these rules, human lives will be at risk. Thank you so much for watching, and I know that you enjoyed watching. My source of information is from Railroad Highway Safety Part 1, a comprehensive statement of the problem, a report to Congress, Washington, D.C., U.S. Department of Transportation, November 1971. Thank you so much, and God bless you.